Well, good morning, everybody. This is the Bako Motorsports Power Hour, and we are into season number 2. Believe it or not, I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it all week, and worked late last night getting the show ready to go. And once again, I'm Louis Amestoy. I am your audience development director here at the Bakersfield Californian, and the host of this show. And I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Mike Griffith, otherwise known as Grumpy Griff. Are you happy over there?
I worked late last night too, getting my trailer ready.
Griff's
place for the March meet.
Griff's place for the March meet out there at Famoso. I saw the spot. I was out there last Sunday. It looked fantastic. Looking forward to what we're going to do out there in a week. We'll have our coverage, of course, Saturday and Sunday, probably as Friday as well. It's going to be an exciting time. It's an exciting time of the year.
Oh, it's already exciting, starting with Daytona last week. Obviously pretty good for some locals. The big winter showdown at Kern County Raceway Park this weekend, $125,000 purse, $25,000 to win. More than 60 drivers out there. So it's gone from 0 to about 100 in an instant.
It's going to be an unbelievable season this year. A lot of things to look forward to. Let's just get through some of the things. This is, of course, brought to you by the Bakersfield Californian. We've been covering racing since the beginning. This is show number 1. And, of course, you can follow us on social media. And we are on the Bako Motorsports Power Hour on Facebook. And it's getting better. It's getting lively out there. We're getting likes and comments and things like that. We've got a lot of content out there.
And by the way, that would be S21.
S21.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Episode
1, right. Let's get right to the business at hand. And of course, if you're a NASCAR fan, you had to have thoroughly enjoyed Daytona, as always, because the race was incredible. But on Saturday night, pretty big breakthrough for one of our local drivers, Ryan Reed, who probably has one of the best stories in all of NASCAR, comes through in the last lap and beats Brad Keselowski to win his first ever Xfinity race. Now, this is the old Nationwide Series, but a huge win for him. And give me your thoughts on what Ryan Reed accomplished.
It's a huge accomplishment. I happened to be at the Bakersfield Speedway
I thought you were
awards
joking.
banquet.
Yeah, I thought you were joking when you said that he
following
won.
it on Twitter because you know obviously that's the only way. And I knew he was up there on the restart, and then he won. It was just unbelievable. So I right after that I came into work because I knew we had some work to do here. But it was a great job by him. He admitted he struggled a bit last year, 9th in points, a lot of 15th place finishes, especially on the mile and a half. But what a breakthrough win. And look at the joy there, pure joy.
Look at these pictures here real quick we have from USA Today. I mean, here he is with winning the trophy. And then the next one is his crew celebrating. And, of course, he has type 1 diabetes. And I tell you what, that's got to be a really taxing thing for everyone for him just to drive for that length of time under those conditions too. He's losing all that weight and all those fluids.
Well, yeah, it was a devastating deal. They had set up, he had actually got all his studies done at Liberty High School a semester early and had just transitioned to a move back to North Carolina. His dad and family worked really hard to get an opportunity back there. And he was weak and stuff, and so he flew home, and they took him right to the doctor, and it was immediate diagnosis here. I think it was January that year, and just a devastating blow. But obviously, he's
rebounded.
He's rebounded quite well. The doctor said, "No, you can race. We just have to do this the right way." And look what's happened.
And this is a culmination for an incredible journey. I think this next photo says it all here. This is Ryan's dad, Mark, and you had a chance to talk to him earlier.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with Mark. He flew back on Sunday and said he's only talked to Ryan a couple times since then, and he says it's just been a whirlwind of even though it's not the Daytona 500, but it's a win in the second highest series at Daytona. And it's been media interviews, commercials, appearances, and as Mark said, this is what they worked so hard for. And he said that even at the local level, the Shepherds, the Montezes, he mentioned a lot of people here who put everything they can to get their kids to run on the short tracks and keep them going. And he did that for 2 years to get Mark where he is. And he says it may not have been the wisest investment, but it's paid off, and you can tell right there.
And Ryan Reed, of course, to go through us these pictures here, I mean, it was just an incredible race. And Keselowski, I think, had a tire issue at the end of the race, and that cleared the way for Ryan to win it. And I think his best performance last year was a 4th or a 5th at Daytona. I think it was the Daytona in July, if I remember correctly.
But I know he ran well at Talladega and led like 28 laps or something, got caught up in a big wreck. And that's the super speedway races. You never know. And this worked out for him. He went to the bottom and it was the route to victory on that last lap.
First career win. That was on Saturday, and of course we had that as our lead story in Bakersfield, California on Sunday. Then the Daytona 500 comes up, and Kevin Harvick was in position to win this in late, but Joey Logano got the win, and he finished second at Daytona. But Casey Mears with the 6th place finish there, and your thoughts on Daytona?
Well, and that's a race I was able to sit down and watch, and it's kind of funny. Harvick was kind of in the top 10, that around 10th most of the day, and Casey was back in 35th.
Yeah.
All race long, and until it was time to move up, and all of a sudden he was there in an instant.
I know. It was interesting because I was watching the race, and I thought, Harvick was always in position, and I was like, oh, well, there's Mears. He's kind of in the back of the pack. It looks like it's going to be like a little bit of a repeat of last year. And remember, last year, though, he got hot at the end of the season and had a lot, some really, much improved performances. But even the announcers noted at the Fox guys noted that where did Casey Mears come from? Because he shot up into the top 10. He was side by side with Harvick for a long period of time. I wonder what was going through Harvick's mind when that was going on.
I think that was some great racing. That was 3 wide, several rows deep for lap after lap until that caution came out, which set up the run to the finish. And unlike what Ryan Reed won, there was a wreck after the start-finish line on the last lap. But it was only 2 cars. They slid off in the infield, and so they were able to continue. This one, more cars kept getting involved, and Harvick was in a position to maybe make a run at Logano, and then they had to throw the caution in that ended the race.
Right.
But I think Mears was elated with the 6th place finish. Harvick, he'll take the second and go on.
All right. Well, this is the schedule for this. We have plenty to talk about the NASCAR as we go through the season. But here we go. We're going to do Atlanta this weekend, followed by the West Coast Swing March 8th in Las Vegas, Phoenix on March 15th, and March 22nd here in Fontana. And then they head back to Martinsville on the 29th. So that's your NASCAR schedule for the time being. Now I want to do what we call 6 things that Mike Griffith has to react to. 6 things. Here you go.
I thought it was 5 the other day.
Today, now it's 6 things.
This is great.
This is the great.
You're going to get my standard junior mini dwarf answer.
Okay, here we go.
Nice.
All right. Number 1, you and I met. We did all these media days, and the girls showed up in force. What do you think it says about the sport that the girls are so active in the sport now?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It starts with the parents. If the parents weren't active and didn't want their children to be this, it wouldn't be happening. So you've got to give the parents a lot of credit for putting the time, effort, and money, because this is not cheap. So kudos to the parents.
Absolutely. All right, number 2, Tony Bartone's domination.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
And I think I don't see why anything's changed from last year.
All right, that's Tony Bartone, top fuel champion for the March meet and the California Hot Rod Reunion. Will he continue that streak? That's a topic we'll talk with Blake Bowser later on. Will Casey Mears have a breakout year?
That's a good question. What do we consider breakout? Is he going to finish in the top 12 in points?
Will he get to the chase?
He's got to win a race to get in the chase, I think.
Okay.
And you know what? Talladega, there's 3 more super speedways, and it could happen somewhere else. Could happen Martinsville. He's won before. So I think he's going to have a very good season.
Number 4, what will the Winter Showdown do for Kern County Raceway Park?
Well, hopefully the weather cooperates, and I think it would be a real shot in the arm. It obviously is. If you've watched some social media, the guys from back east are out here and just talking about what a great place this is. So it's obvious it's already giving it some recognition.
All right, 70th season, number 5 at Bakersfield Speedway. What's your best memory?
Oh, gosh. I can tell you what my worst memory is.
Well, let's talk about your best memory. You can talk about the worst memory
Well, the worst memory is just a big fire out there.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the best memory is. There's been so many things happen out there.
There's been so many good memories then, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of good things out there, but the one that stands out, it's, like your mind, most of the things, it's things that are unique, and that big fire years ago stood out.
All right, here you go. Last one. Will the Javelin ever make a run again down the quarter mile of Famoso?
They make runs down the quarter mile all the time. I've seen some out
there.
there. 69.
The question is, will your Javelin?
My Javelin turned into a circle track car and probably ended up in a car crusher eons ago. Unfortunately, because that was a stupid thing to sell that car.
All right, 6 things with Mike Griff.
And that's the wrong model year, by the way.
I just threw it up there. I didn't know what model you had.
69.
I just looked for a Javelin. That's all I know. It's amazing that I was familiar with the Dodge. All right, coming up next, Kern County Raceway Park. Steve Hughes, he's the man. He will be here with us next year on the Bako Motorsports Power Hour, brought to you by the Bakersfield, California.